Afternoon. We are really tracking western Lexington County specifically for a threat of some strong wind gusts. So let's actually go ahead and zoom into that particular area to start with, and let me show you what I'm seeing on the radar picture at this moment here. So near Batesburg, Leesville, not too far away from Gilbert. Let me show you the velocity, which shows us how strong the winds are within this storm. Right here in particular, that's where we may have some significant wind right along the I-20 corridor here. Again, in western Lexington County, this storm pushing to the northeast about 25 miles per hour. This is the type of wind we're worried about to cause some damage, specifically right around here. Let me go ahead and zoom in a little bit more so we can see what communities may be in line to be impacted by this particular area of enhanced wind. Again, we're close to Gilbert here. This is right along I-20 here, unfortunately, so travelers in for a rough time there in western Lexington County at this very moment. Another thing I want to point out is within this burst of heavy wind, there may be some rotation developing as well. It's fairly broad right now, but you can get quick spin-up tornadoes to occur in these situations, and we may be having that at least broadly developing right around there near the I-20 corridor in western Lexington County. Now, it's not strong enough for the National Weather Service to issue a tornado warning just yet, but it's right around there that we're at least watching the possibility of some broad rotation. We're going to be keeping a close eye on this to see if it does strengthen at least the intensity of that rotation. But for now, it is just a severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 4:45 this afternoon. Again, that includes several counties, including Lexington County, which is actually likely experiencing the worst of these winds right now. Here's an estimate of roughly the radar estimated wind speeds. Ignore the negative sign in front of that. Just take the number there, and it's estimating 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. That's severe level that can cause power lines and tree branches to get knocked over. With this burst of wind right over the I-20 corridor in western Lexington County, this is moving northeast, so it's going to stay along I-20 as it approaches the city of Lexington here over the next 20 minutes or so. So let's zoom out, and then we will put a track on this, especially the area of strongest winds. Again, moving at about 25 miles per hour. So here is a look at our projected times for when the communities down the line here could be affected. Gilbert, it's knocking on your door right now, arriving in the next few minutes, at least the worst of the wind. Red Bank, 4:45 this afternoon. Lexington, 4:51. That's about 24 minutes from now. West Columbia, 5:09. Columbia, 5:19. So within the next hour, we could have some noisy, potentially damaging storms move through much of the city of Columbia and the Columbia Metro. Hopefully it's nothing significant, but for the time being, it is showing signs of strong straight line wind gusts marching toward the Columbia Metro. So we're going to stay on our streaming coverage here for just a little bit. And again, if it exhibits any signs of rotation and a tornado warning is issued, then we'll hop on our programming on Watch Fox News as well. There is no sign of tight rotation right now. That is the good news. Another way we can look at possible rotation here is by looking at this product, and it shows at least some broad rotation where you see those blue markers. Again, that's right along I-20 where I've been mentioning, just south of Gilbert. No reports of any rotation or anything like that necessarily, but there is at least some broad rotation, at the very least some strong straight line wind impacting folks along I-20 in western Lexington County at this very moment. So that is the picture right now. I'll zoom out, and that is our active severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 4:45 this afternoon. It's a big warning box, and hard to blame them with these strong storms stretching up and down southern portions of the Midlands at this moment. Certainly not the only area impacted, though. We have numerous storms east of there, from Sumter County down to Calhoun and Orangeburg counties. Earlier, about an hour ago, we had a report of quarter-size hail on the east side of Orangeburg, thanks to a strong storm that rolled through there. One thing we're going to have to watch out for now is the possibility of some flash flooding. Our ground is fairly saturated after what's been a rainy month of May for many of us, especially in the southern Midlands. And these storms are producing torrential downpours that could drop a quick inch or two of rain in some spots. We already had that occur just north of Augusta earlier this afternoon, and that's where a flash flood warning is in place. We certainly could have, especially in cities, more of that flash flooding occur over the next several hours. So that is another threat we will be watching closely as we move forward here. Let's take you out and about here, take a look at some of our cameras across the area. Slow going on I-26 near Orangeburg. Again, that's where the quarter-size hail fell about an hour ago. Heavy rain continues to impact travel there. Looking okay in Columbia and Lexington right now, but that's going to change within the hour. If you can get home sooner than later, I would suggest that before these nasty storms move into the metro. Again, between 5 and 5:30 looks to be the prime time for the worst of those storms to move into the city. And even behind this cluster of storms we have in South Carolina, there's even more rain back in Georgia that could move our way throughout the evening. So very well could be a wet evening and a rainy night for a lot of us in South Carolina. And this is the first of 2 waves of storms we are expecting over about the next 24 hours or so. That first wave clears out late tonight. Round 2 comes our way tomorrow afternoon. That will once again pose a risk for severe weather. Here's what Future Watch shows for the rest of the day today. And as we get to the evening, we'll see the worst of the strong storms clear out of our area. But isolated to scattered showers may continue throughout the night tonight and possibly lingers in some spots early tomorrow morning. Heading into Friday afternoon, a strong line of storms will develop in upstate South Carolina. Races quickly from the northwest to the southeast. I mean, this is going to be in and out very quickly, but as it moves through, it could pose that threat for damaging wind gusts, maybe some large hail, and there will be a threat for tornadoes. We're really concerned about this signature right here. If we see a bowing segment like this occur, that's where you can get those straight line winds to really be enhanced, and sometimes you can get brief tornadoes to develop on the north side of these bowing segments. So that could be something we have to watch out for tomorrow afternoon, mainly between 3 and 6 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. So once again, damaging wind, the main threat. Could have some large hail. There could be a brief tornado or 2 tomorrow. And with the speed of that line moving through tomorrow, I don't think flooding is going to be as big of a risk tomorrow as what we're worried about today. Back to the radar picture at this hour. We have that 1 severe thunderstorm warning continuing until 4:45 this afternoon for Lexington, Aiken, western Orangeburg, and parts of Barnwell counties across the southwest Midlands. I want to go ahead and take another look here at this storm and zoom on into that area I was watching a few minutes ago. So we'll head back to Lexington County. Intense rain impacting the I-20 corridor at this moment. What I'm really interested in looking at is the velocity though, and again, a strong punch of wind right there. I'm going to zoom in even more to get a better look at which towns might be affected by that. Again, that's pretty close to Gilbert. Right there, south of Gilbert, the Ethan Crossroads area, approaching Red Bank shortly after that. That's where we could have the best chance at severe thunderstorm wind gusts that cause damage to power lines, damage to tree limbs, knocking both of those over. This is basically following I-20, and unfortunately, if it maintains its strength, it could impact more populated parts of both Lexington and Richland counties as we get closer to the top of this next hour around 5 o'clock. I'm going to check National Weather Chat to see if they see anything, and nothing from them yet, so that's good news. Rotation remains pretty broad. We have been monitoring this for the possibility of a brief spin-up tornado. This can happen sometimes in these situations. Not seeing anything on our radar picture that suggests that is happening right now. Hopefully that remains the case. Let's see if there's any hail. There might be some small hail here, nothing that's severe, but around pea-size to dime-size hail possible. Again, just south of Gilbert right now. The wind is the bigger concern with this storm, not so much the hail, but more so the wind, especially right around here where you see that bright green. That's wind moving toward the radar, which is located just off camera here near Columbia. So that is some strong wind gusts moving in that direction. Radar estimating these winds where you see the bright green could be 50 to 60 miles per hour. Let's actually take another check here, and it's estimating 57 mile per hour wind gusts right there where that bright green color is located. I'm just going to click around a few spots to see if it's thinking that's occurring elsewhere. So yeah, that's the primary area of concern right there over the I-20 corridor. As far as where this is headed, it's moving northeast at about 25 miles per hour. That'll put it in Red Bank around 442, Lexington around 450, West Columbia around 506, Columbia around 515, and Dentsville around 526 this afternoon. So those of you watching in Columbia, between 5 and 5:30 is when this strong storm will impact us in the metro. Lexington a little bit earlier than that. All right, so that is all I have right now. If we have any new warnings, we'll be sure to hop back on. We're, of course, going to be live on Watch Fox News at 5 in about 25 minutes. So we'll have a complete breakdown of what's going on with this storm at that point. And you can also watch that program on our website, wach.com, for the latest on that severe weather potential. All right, that's all from me right now. Again, join us at the top of the hour at 5 o'clock for the latest news and weather for us here in the Midlands.